light is superior to darkness, and darkness understands it. So the first rank of light is that darkness already understands and concedes defeat when it has to do with light. The darkness comprehends it not. It's a concluded reality in the spirit. I'm saying this so that you appreciate light and you will cleave onto light with audacity. Because many have light, but they are not sure of the power and the excellency of light. Number two, to understand the rank of light, you need to check the two personalities that embody their realities, which is Christ and the devil. There's no basis of comparison. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made by him. Without him was not anything made that was made. So the second thing you see is that light is creator. Darkness can create nothing. At best, it can destroy. And you know what? The excellency of light is that whatever darkness destroys, light can create again. That's the mystery of the resurrection. He said, whoever is in me will not die. John 11:25. And he said, even if he were dead, he will live again. So light has so much authority in that it creates, darkness cannot create. And if darkness destroys what light creates, light still has the potential to recreate. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And God showed up again. Light be. The moment light came, recreation began again. So it makes darkness helpless in the face of battle. If I don't do anything, he can create. And if I destroy, he can recreate. And if I destroy, he can recreate. And he doesn't just recreate. He recreates in such a way that you forget about the destruction that ever happened. That's why somebody missed one season and the devil stole 1 year. God came back and bring restoration equivalent to 10 years. You are now wondering, why did I go there in the first place? Because I stole 1 year from him. Because I stole 1 year, 10 years have been gifted him. So it would have been better I didn't destroy in the first place. He said, if the princes of this world had known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. So every time the devil destroys, it provokes greater propensity of creation, making the work of the devil futile, making the work of darkness futile. Listen, those of you hearing me here, it doesn't matter what you have lost, you will receive tenfold before you leave here. Tenfold before you leave here. Can I show you the third superiority of darkness? Is the authority seat. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 19, 20 and 21. Because each of them have thrones, but the thrones are situated differently. He said, and what is the exceeding greatness of his power to us who believe, according to the working of his mighty power. Go to the next verse. Which he wrought in Christ when he raised him from the dead. And I need to show you what happened when he raised him from the dead before we come back here. Colossians chapter 2 verse 14 and 15. I want to show you something so you understand that what is happening here is not something that it was just stated. It was something that was protocoled through a spiritual activity. It said, blotting out every handwriting of ordinance that was written against us, which was contrary to us, and took it away by nailing it on the cross. And he said, having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a public show of them, triumphing over them. So he didn't just destroy them in hiding, he destroyed them. You know, this word public show is, if you understand the history of war in the Roman Empire, that you will know what this means. In the Roman Empire, when they go to war and they conquer a nation, what happens is that the captain of the other side, the king of the other side, because the Romans don't necessarily bring the whole nation. What the Romans do is that when they conquer you, they send an ecclesia to take over your territory. But what they do to your king is that your king will be paraded. So the king of the Roman will return in a victory parade, and the whole city will clap and welcome him. Then he will sit in the middle of the city, and then they will parade the defeated king naked, and he will show up with all his weapons, and he will drop the weapon willingly and surrender for anything the winning king wants to do to him. If he wants, he will enslave him for a lifetime. If he wants, he will behead him. If he wants, he will do whatever he wants, and he will not struggle again, because he has done everything he needs to do on the battlefield, and all his strategies have failed. So now he has submitted in loyalty to the authority of the winning king. So when he said he made a public show of them, it means Satan, principalities, powers, dominion were paraded, and when they were paraded, they surrendered to the master. Hey! Mamoraketoria Bagata Manda Prato Setevira. This is the rank of light. They were paraded and they conceded defeat, and God didn't stop there. Something needed to happen. The throne needs to be set. So he said in Ephesians 1:19, after the defeat took place, he said, according to the working of his mighty power. So he demonstrated his victory, and he didn't stop there. Verse 20, which he wrought in Christ when he raised him from the dead and set him at his own right hand in heavenly places. Remember, Ephesians 6:10-13 said demonic spirits are also in heavenly places, but heavenly places have levels. There's the second heaven, but there's the third heaven. These things are in levels. And so in verse 20, hear what it says. Ephesians 1. I'm showing you this because there's a basis for our faith. We are not just mindless people running around psyched and just shouting because we are religious by God. No, there's a basis for what we do. Go to verse 20. Verse 21. He said, this throne is far above all, not some, all principalities and powers and might and dominion and every name that is named, not only in this world, but also in the world that is to come. So any being that has a name, whatever he is, he has gone beneath that throne. If this was all, this would have been good enough, because we know that God has covered us. He's got our back. But he didn't want to just be intervening in our lives. And so in chapter 2 verse 6, you know, if this is all, anytime you are in problem, in trouble, you say, Lord help, God will intervene from there. But that will be too much work. The way God creates is that he creates a system that works. So he's not willing to be intervening every time. He wants you to become his system of intervention. So what did he do? He said, and had raised us up together and made us to sit with him in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. So God is not just intervening, God has raised me with him. So he has converted me to a system of intervention. I am a system of divine intervention. That's why when we come, he said, these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name, they shall cast out demons. They shall kick out demons. Makaro tatataya. You are a system of divine intervention. God is not just intervening. You have become a system. Are you following? Can I show you more scriptures? Hear this. God is not just intervening in your life. He has made you a system of intervention. Because where he is in dominion, that's where he has brought you. Look at the way the Bible puts it. John 8:12. Jesus said, so long as I am in the world, he said, I am the light of the world. So long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. If that was all, that would have been good. But in John 5:13 and 14, he said, you are the light of the world. A city set upon a hill that cannot be hid. You are the light of the world. A city set. Why is that so? Because where he is where you are. Where he's seated is where you are seated. So you have become a system of light. I'm showing you the excellency of light and the partaking role that you have been brought into, so that you can learn to exercise dominion. This is why it doesn't matter what the devil is doing. If it brings ignorance, you counter it. If it brings sickness, you counter it. If it brings poverty, you counter it. Because now God is not just intervening. You are God's system of intervention. He said, you are my battle axe, my weapon of war, my weapon of war, my weapon of war. Please sit down for a moment. Elohim Adonai.